Fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hands. Feel the comfort flow inside you.
Hi, welcome to Healing Outside the Box. This is our 141st show. My name is Rosemary LaChance, and I'm an energy healer and a spiritual therapist.
Tonight we are delighted.
Your name is?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was so excited to get to our guest.
Oh, okay.
I'm Lisa Burton, and I'm a mindful educational coach.
And we are co-hosts for this thought-provoking series and are dedicated to providing you with food for thought information and answers to all modalities of alternative healing, spiritual development, animal welfare, environmental concerns, and so much more in the form of guest speakers who are experts in their fields. If you know of any subjects you'd like us to discuss, or if you know of anyone who you think would make an interesting guest, please let us know. Please like us on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box, where you can learn about and see pictures of some of our guests and ask questions or leave a comment. Enjoy the show.
Wonderful. We are very excited tonight to have two guests with us. I'm going to introduce the first one. We have Barbara Silver-Slane. Welcome.
Thank you.
Wonderful
so
to
much.
have you. And Barbara is the director of the Life Balance Center located in Weston. We'll give you all her contact information at the end of the show. Barbara is a holistic nutritionist. She has a Master of Arts degree, and she's a German new medicine practitioner also. I'm going to do my best to say this on my own. She's
Microscopist.
Oh.
I'll help you.
Thank you.
It took me a long time. So.
Thank you. So that's another certification you have also. She's an alkaline coach, and she's also the director of the Life Balance Center, as I had said, and My Healing Rooms, which we will discuss later. Barbara has always been interested in the mind-body-soul connection and has been learning, seeking, and experiencing a multitude of modalities from an early age. Her search was also based on finding solutions to her own mind-body-soul challenges. Barbara offers information about alternative therapies, both Western and Eastern, for cancer and many other states of dis-ease in the mind, body, and soul, and firmly believes that they are all connected and every ailment should be addressed through our whole body. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. The Life Balance Center offers workshops and classes in all areas, and now she offers My Healing Rooms, which is an online resource that's complimentary, where people can be exposed to different modalities and healings. All of the room participants have offered some form of a complimentary gift, such as meditations, sound healing, ways of transforming emotions, earthing, and much more. So, lots of wonderful things, yes. Would we like to have her introduce our second guest before we go into Barbara's questions?
We can be introduced.
I brought along with me one of the most, David Beatty, who is the in-house a couple of days a week. He also goes to other centers, Shirin practitioner. The Shirin is a machine that David will talk about when he comes and has his own show here and a little bit after, that uses your own light source, your biophotons, to diagnose and treat. And that was, as I was searching for myself, I often say that God gave me a lot of maladies, so I'd have to keep searching, but I've got it, enough. It keeps coming. So when I heard about this, I actually flew out to Boulder, Colorado, and I've experienced a lot of these modalities. And I met Johan, who was the inventor, and he gave me a session, and it was remarkable. There really was an instant shift. Now, like any of these things, some people get big shifts, some people get no shifts, but I find with the Shirin that most people get something, and that is unusual. And I really never felt any kind of a shift with anything apart from this. So I put it out to the universe, and I got a call from someone that David lived in Connecticut and was doing it, and
was the only practitioner.
Was the only practitioner, right? And we met, and within a week he was seeing like 15 people a day.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Not a lot of advertisement, because if you don't feel well and you start to feel better, you're going to tell the next 10 people you meet,
right?
And that's what I do. So it's pretty amazing.
Well, what this is, folks, out there is it's coming attractions. Previews of coming attractions. He's going to be with us in the future, and we're going to do a whole show with him, and maybe, I don't know.
And a demo of the
demo if you'd like, sure, of course.
Hold
everything.
Shirin
Where am I
We'll show
looking?
you a demo. And there's glass wands and foot plates and
You can get a little closer on that. There you go.
And I believe this is the beginning of the medicine of the future, which is where energy, everything is energy, we're going to heal with energy. And this uses your body's energy. So your body is telling the practitioner what's going on. But you also want a practitioner that you feel really resonates with you and that is clued in to how it works. So it's always, twofold. You know, you can go to, there could be 5 doctors, but one's going to help you. And that's where you have to take some responsibility for your own healing
Right.
in every area.
In every area.
Every area,
So
especially cancer.
can I just ask you to elaborate a little bit, the machine diagnosis and...
Well, this system or protocol is unique in that it diagnoses based on acupuncture points. So 178 points on the fingers and toes we measure. If they're out of balance or coherence, it gives us a red light. Then we pre-test, which is unusual, solutions that may work or probably will work.
Okay.
Then we apply a treatment, and before you leave, we see if those treatments actually took. There's no walk away, go to your pharmacy or anything like that, or go to your naturopathic store and get anything else. It's done all here in the hour and a half session.
Okay. So
Fabulous.
we have whet your appetite out there, and stay tuned for future shows where he's
Sorry,
going
was
to show it all. And Lisa and I are going to have a treatment.
gonna
and
get a treatment,
We'll report
too.
back to you also. Okay, folks. So thank you so much for
You're most
coming.
welcome.
Sit with us, and anything you want to add to the show, feel free.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
All
Very
right.
good.
So, Lisa, the first question we ask Barbara is.
How did you get started in all this healing work?
You know, I think when you don't feel well, and whether it's emotional or physical, and I have both, you're going to start to look. I mean, some people do. If you don't want to be deadened and you don't want to be numbed with drugs, or if you don't want to shut off, you're going to start to look and you're going to search. And that's what I started to do my whole life. And I do believe in a bigger plan. And what happened 5 years ago after going back to school for nutrition and studying with Dr. Robert Young and becoming and taking all these millions of different classes, I moved up to Weston, Connecticut, which is right next to Westport, and started running a liquid feast. And that's the signature program at the center. I now run it with Andrea Candy, who's a master herbalist and author and speaker, because she came to the feast and was so thrilled with how easy it was to lose weight and how her body stopped aching, because acidity is inflammation. So I started with the liquid feast, and my passion, because if we can help people shift gently, there's no greater gift, because that's what I was looking for. So when I run the feast, it's my whole, it's mind, body, soul. We're not, if we just talk to one part, then I don't feel the healing is going to be as easy or as complete, because I believe that things start in the etheric field, they end up in your body. It's a circuit. We're holistic, we're whole. So we started with that, and then different things started coming, because I kept searching, like the Sharon, like certain energy workers. Mara was on your show. I find her work
Yes.
remarkable.
Oh,
She's incredible.
I
And
know.
again, I work with a lot of people, and my session with her was great. We do workshops with people that I feel really can make a difference to help shift people's lives, to provide an answer, to provide comfort, to illuminate. So everything that's done there is done very consciously. It's not that we'll just take anyone and do anything. And nothing, there's something for everyone. One person could get healed with one thing and another with another. So you have to, also, I really encourage people, and especially with real illness, you can't just listen. You have to search, you have to look for options, and you have to be responsible, because we're the owners of this body, and it's the only one we get to live in. And we have to, and we're alone with our thoughts as well. So it's really important that we take this seriously to have a quality of life. And then for me, I think it's very important to have some relationship with Source, whatever that is to you. So we provide that as well. There's meditations, there's, we might have an Indian shaman or a Roland who, speaks to departed loved ones, or we've had so many different workshops at the center, as well as classes, and where people can get degrees in certain modalities as well. So,
That's wonderful. you seek out these people, right? And some come to you, and you interview them, and you find everything out about them before you have them do the...
Oh, absolutely. And that's how the bridge came to my healing rooms, which we'll talk about later. Because I'll say something now, which is that, people would call me up and they would be, well, what do I do and who's this person? So I thought, wouldn't it be great to have a website where I interview the healers and then they also show an example of their work, or else they give a free gift, whether it's sound healing or earthing. I mean, earthing is this amazing free way to heal your body and to get electrons in your body that pick up free radicals. I mean, it's right here. Most people don't know about that.
Right.
So you can go onto my healing rooms with an S.com, and you could say, so if one of those people are doing a workshop, you can tune in to yourself and say, is this the person I want to see? Who do I want to see? What modality or person is really resonating with me?
It's a wonderful idea. Just
Thank you.
wonderful,
Yeah.
So it's the beginning. We're adding new people.
Let me
all the
just
time.
say that Barbara's available to anybody. Anyone I've had call in, she spends hours on the phone all day of her time for anybody. And thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
2 people yesterday are going to call today, too.
I do a lot of free, I would say, it's resourcing for people that have manifested cancer. Because most people, I had it 10 years ago, and I didn't know I had options. So I was led down the medical path. I was led into Sloan, into a chemo that was really hardcore, that they're not doing anymore, surgery. They attack the whole body. They attack the whole person. That's not how healing takes place. It might prolong your life a little bit. I believe I was lucky. But I want people to know they have options, and there are so many options out there. They're doing a lot of them in Europe, and so when people call me, I will speak to them. I do it because I want them to know that there's healing, and it could be a bridge between the Western and the Eastern. I don't think you should not do the Western, but you should do a targeted chemo instead of slamming your whole body with the chemo. So there are places out there that are actually doing this. They're doing much more conscious healing. So if you can bridge the Eastern and the Western and your whole body healing, you've got a better chance, and it's so much more gentle. I mean, what I see being done to some people, I believe it's barbaric.
I have this on my website, and I've always believed this. I would love to see the day when allopathic doctors and naturopathic doctors and energy healers can come together and work all together to help heal people.
But the same goes for, it's ego, the same goes for people that are, doing the natural healing. If anyone is so, egotistical about their way of healing, and they say, and I know some people, my way will heal you, and people are so desperate that they'll give their money and they'll do it, you want to run for the hills when someone says that.
Exactly.
You want to know that you have options, and often, and I talk about this, you need a poo-poo platter. It's not just one thing. You need a couple of things to put together and marry them together so you can get the optimal effects in healing.
You're right.
It sounds like you're really committed to empowering people to do the research, to ask, and make informed decisions.
Scared and helpless. I've been there. It's really unpleasant. So that knowledge is so important, really important.
Do you think it's more readily available, alternative ways now?
I had a guy come to me the other day with a young guy, Nick, with a big tumor on his neck, and his ENT was going to remove it. And I sent him to a wonderful Dr. Boyd, who is somewhat alternative oncologist, and he said, what are you, crazy? That has to be a skilled surgeon and someone who does this and who deals with cancer. Even something as simple as that could have completely changed his life and his treatment. And then I gave him other resources, so now this whole world opened up to him, and he feels more empowered and he's not as scared. That's so important. And there are miracles too, like Anita Morjani. Wayne Dyer talks about her. She was stage 4 cancer shutdown and went to the light, and within 2 weeks all the tumors went away. We don't even realize how healing can take place.
Exactly.
That there's so many different ways.
Exactly.
And if we are energy, why can't energy also help us to heal?
You're right. We had someone on the show who healed himself from stage 4 cancer. And he'll be glad to talk to anyone and tell him about it.
That's so great.
He's got a website and everything, and people have contacted me, and I've given him his information. So, yes.
And there's a lot of information I don't know, so I'll just say this is what I know.
Right.
And now go empower yourself. Go out there. And then tune into yourself. What feels right to me? because again, what might work for one person is not going to necessarily work
Right.
for somebody else. And then we have our karma and we have our journey, so
Right.
it's very different.
And that's that whole mind, body, soul, spirit
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah, one of the books I tell almost everyone who has some disease is Colin Tipping, Radical Forgiveness, because it just gives you a different viewpoint on how things happen to you. So you feel like less of a victim. You know, so let's empower and become responsible. And by the way, I'm not saying it's easy because I slip all the time, but it's good to know that.
And believing. That's
believing.
what come to my mind is having a faith in it, believing it, what's happening for you, or believing that someone's out there watching over you, spirituality, to help you through all of this, you know,
Faith
and that they'll
and prayer.
send you the right people, and believing. Healing is believing, really. I mean, even when I do energy healing, if they don't believe it, you have to believe that you're going to be healed, right?
Well, they say that, right, placebo is huge.
Right.
Or also, it's been documented if a doctor, actually, someone told me the story, Dr. Boyd, if someone comes in and they're diagnosed and you're very positive, as opposed to a doctor coming in and saying, you know, you really don't have a long time to live, that person absorbs that, and there's a good chance they're going to shut down. So words affect healing, thoughts affect healing. Everything is energy. So we have to be mindful of how we speak to ourselves. Most of us are so critical. I mean,
So
I'm
true.
still dealing with my old tapes,
So am I, dear.
I,
We talked about that.
We have.
We're going to
It's
have
unbelievable.
coffee. We're going to talk.
yes, we're going to talk.
It's true.
Would you like to share a little bit more about the healing rooms and some of your specific
Oh, sure.
practitioners that are
Well,
available?
3 of them have been on your show already, which is so great. It was just launched on Valentine's Day as a gift of love. So there's Hans Wilhelm, who is an author and a mystic, and he's been on
Spiritual
the show.
teacher, yeah.
He's amazing. He's so great. He's so comforting. And Marat's been on the show. She does magic. I don't even know how else to put it.
I
but
know.
Energy magic. And I mean, my first session with her is, she's my go-to person if something happens. I mean, I'll source and then I'll call her. And Hope Fitzgerald, who is so committed with her energy wave meditation. We have Robert DiGaetano, who does healing music. So when you go on my healing rooms, you click onto his piece called Vulnerable, and you sit, and then you try to allow your higher self to direct you to the rooms that might serve you.
Okay.
And then Johann, who invented the Shirin, I did an interview with him, so you could actually see a Shirin demonstration. I'm forgetting Roland Comtois is being released next month. So, and then my next interview is with one of the right-hand people to John of God, Josie Ravenwing. So that's coming up too. People have been, Wayne Dyer claims he was healed by the energy of John of God. I saw him in Omega. Again, sometimes you don't even know what something is doing for you. So, and there's more to come. It's just kind of slowed down for a bit. So I had a unexpected, a small back surgery, and now I'm healing from that. So, you know, life comes at us, and we just have to keep kind of plugging along. So my desire is to empower people and to give them hope. Because that's what I would want.
And what life dealt you is what made you open the center and the healing rooms and everything.
But they need to stop.
Enough is enough.
I gotta cue them up here. I'll keep looking. I will. I promise.
You're inspired now,
I'm
so you
inspired,
don't need
but-
more inspiration.
No, but God laughs while we plan. And I think there's that fine line of the ego wants to kind of tell us what we're supposed to do, and there is a bigger plan, that I know. And sometimes it's not what we think the plan is.
Right.
And so it's kind of, you know, being in that place and, you know, getting the ego to a point where it serves you, but it doesn't run the show.
Right. I've often thought with, you know, kind of unexpected injuries or even just a cold, that it's your body's way, your spirit's way of telling you, slow down, time to take care of you, stop taking care of everybody else, and just focus a little bit on you. Yeah, and sometimes you have to be smacked
But
kind of hard
sometimes
to.
it's not. Like people would say, oh, so when you had cancer, that started you. I'm like, no, I needed a couple of more frying pans on the head because I still really didn't get it. That wasn't my giant wake-up call. I went through it, I think, so I can understand what people are going through, and the fear and the feeling of being hooked up to, chemotherapy and that whole, it's a whole different warped world. So, but I still needed more.
So it's like layers that
It
get
is. It's
peeled
peeling
back.
that onion, and I guess it doesn't stop until we kind of transition to whatever is next. We don't want to stop growing, but it's nice if we could have a little more ease and grace and joy, because this is a beautiful planet. I mean, nature and the animals and everything. So it's really would be unfortunate not to be able to also appreciate that. So if you're in mental pain, and so many people are, they're struggling with addictions and depression and anxiety or physical pain, it's nice if there's some way to get some relief. I mean, we see it all at the center. We really do. And,
Yeah, that was a question I did have. Who seeks you out? What are their ailments that they're seeking you out for?
I don't even advertise. It's like kind
Right.
of word of mouth, and I'll get calls about everything. And I often, I don't need to run the show. If I know someone, I'll say, you know what, call this person, that person. So I'm kind of like the resource. If we have it, great. If we don't, and then a lot of times I'll say, I think you should do 3 things, like get the diet going, and you work on some kind of spiritual thing, whether it's Marah or this or that. The Shirin is always an easy, and it's reasonable. I don't feel that people should have to spend and feel stressed when they're already feeling stressed. That's another thing. How do you give people comfort without, draining their bank account? And then
Right.
so it's how do you do gentle, loving healing? And people like David who are dedicated, I mean, I don't want to advertise this, but if people can't afford it, we work with them. So I like working with people that have that love and that spirit, because that's what I do. I think that's so important.
Well, we've had our habits for so many years. It's not easy, right, to
No.
change it right away. Like you said, try to convince someone and everything. It's very difficult.
It's baby steps.
Yeah.
And that's what I say during the feast is even if you shift one thing, one little thing, it's going to create a whole, kind of chain effect. So you don't have to be perfect. I don't think I can't be perfect. I want to have that Starbucks or once in a while or whatever it is, the dark chocolate, but it's a balance. So it's all about how do we find the balance, and it's easier for some people than others. And for me, it was, and it's still at times, is very challenging.
So people might seek you out for weight loss for the
Yeah,
feast?
very easy way. We don't do, it's not a green juice thing, which to me I could never do. This is a liquid feast with soups and smoothies with a proper balance of oils and mineral salts. You're not hungry, the weight comes flying off. People are thrilled. I mean, they're like thrilled. And we do, the price is great. There are 2 cooking classes included and a big book with resources. So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, so come and stay with us for 3 days. They come back and forth. We have the infrared sauna, a beautiful space outside, and heal, but learn how to take this into your life. We also have a version. We did a video, Andrea and I, the Liquid Feast, on my healing rooms. So the whole video and the whole PDF, the whole shebang is $95. We put a lot into that. So you're walking away with recipes, we show them to you, resources, mind, body, soul.
So it's not just a diet, it's a lifestyle change.
It's everything. It is it's a diet and lifestyle change. It's a way to kind of observe your life. And even if you make 2 little shifts, great. Some people take it all the way. Some people do one thing. It doesn't matter. This is not about judging. It's like, what are you ready for? Just then bring it on.
Right.
How about just stopping equal? That's a pretty good thing to stop. Stopping diet soda, or knowing that you can substitute things. And knowing maybe that even if you're good for 5 days and you mess up for 1 day, then get right back on. This is not like all or nothing.
Right. I think that's a challenge with, especially, well, changing any habit, but especially with weight, is people don't know what to do and they fall back in the same habits.
Right, exactly.
So how do you maintain the change?
Well, I think it's easy because of the tips that we give. So it could be just what is your morning drink, or how do you start your morning, because that could also, that's how your day follows and what you're craving. Or what are substitutes for things that you're having now that are not really serving you. and where do you get them, and how do you get them wholesale, and what oil to cook with that's not toxic for your body versus cooking with canola oil or olive oil that's actually going to cause inflammation in your body and make you swell.
Olive
That's
oil? Really?
Yeah, olive oil's not heat resistant. So we cook with coconut oil. It's one of the only heat resistant oils, as well as grapeseed oil, but grapeseed oil is very expensive organic. So we found a resource to get coconut oil that's organic where the flavor is taken out because you don't want everything tasting
No,
like curry.
right. You don't want
So that's one little thing. If you just do that alone, that's a big shift. So, and then, you start feeling better. You have less aches and pains. Isn't that great? Then you can start to open up to different things in life because you're not feeling in your body, feeling uncomfortable. So it's an education.
Right,
It's knowledge that's empowering. To me, if you go and have green juice for 3 days, then what? Then what are you going to do?
Right, that's what people
Apart
get
from being,
stuck.
like, miserable and starving, because
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
The problem with most diets is that you have to make a lifestyle change, and all of them, I guess Weight Watchers is, they make it as easy as possible, but you're hungry. You're hungry on
And
that
the food
diet.
is toxic.
And the food, yeah,
Oh,
right,
it's all
exactly.
chemicals in the
yeah.
food. You don't want to do that.
No, all the food they sell, the frozen dinners and everything, it's
Yeah.
loaded with GMO soy and salt and wheat and
All
oh
of
my
that.
God, yeah. And like you said, what it's got to be to take it off and leave it off and be happy is making a lifestyle complete change. You really have to do that.
But you need the
slowly.
knowledge. Slowly.
Slowly.
Step by step.
Yeah.
And then you might go back a little, but eventually your body kind of adjusts, and then it becomes easier.
Yeah, and I would think your validation is that you feel better.
Right.
So this is working for me. That's my motivation to keep going.
Absolutely. And also, to me, I don't focus on the weight. It's that if your body is inflamed, it's acidic, so it's not feeling good.
Right.
And that really it doesn't feel good when you feel uncomfortable in your own body. Unlike David, who never eats. I'm always like, David, can I get you something? I'm not hungry. I'm like, oh, God.
We have a full-time chef. She chases me around trying to get me to eat. I had an avocado this morning and I had a banana for lunch. So
I mean, even having an avocado
That's
a
all.
day,
That's it.
that's it.
he's ridiculous. Even having an avocado a day, that alone, it's like
Yeah.
that avocado has all the essential amino acids and protein and fiber. It is so amazing. Even that is a healthy addition, and it's wonderful. Most of us are, depleted with minerals, so sea salt and mineral salt is so important, and it balances you. A lot of times people go for sugar, but they're deficient in the minerals, which is salt. So how do you stop sugar cravings? We teach you that too, but in a practical way, not in like chaining yourself, which doesn't work.
Right. There's a
It
lot of
doesn't
people
work.
that have
Deprivation does not work.
sweet cravings. A lot of people
And then
are
we have a
really
lot of
addicted.
sweet recipes that are really good, like homemade chocolates and almond cookies. So you could have your sweets, but just do it healthy with stevia and other additions.
Fascinating.
Sounds good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know me, I don't know how to cook.
Oh, yeah.
I-
By the way, the blender
I call
would
my
be your
s-
best friend.
oh, yeah?
Oh my God, the
Okay.
smoothies are amazing, so delicious. Really.
I call myself a heater-upper.
So if anybody's interested, I will send them, as a courtesy to your show, I will send them an email with our breakfast smoothie, the Life Balance smoothie. So if they want to email me, I will send that over to them.
That's terrific.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great,
All right,
thank
make sure
you.
you get her information at the end of the show, folks. And if you miss it, just email me and go on my website. Okay, so can you tell us about your physical challenges? You
Which ones?
know you had breast cancer at one
I
time.
did.
Okay.
I did an Angelina Jolie, but at the time it wasn't my choice. She made it easier, actually, for people to say that, and I don't know, there's a whole controversy about if you have the gene, are you going to get breast cancer, and that's another potential myth of the medical world.
I would
Again,
think.
because cutting off body parts, I don't know, because cancer is something that manifests in your body. It's your whole system, and your system is not filtering right. So if it isn't and you just feel you're going to cut off a body part, chances are you're going to get sick in some other way if it's not cancer. So that's kind of misinformation. Well, I had breast cancer, and I didn't know anything then. And my mother died very young of ovarian, and I had the gene. So they went into slice 'em, dice 'em mode, and really strong chemo. And the chemo that I had now, there in some states are outlawing. It was adriamycin Cytoxan because it's so toxic to the body. So I've been doing, I know, believe me, I wish I knew. And that's why I want people to know you don't have to do this, because now they're doing targeted chemo if you need chemo. And sometimes, by the way, you do need chemo. But then you're going to want to marry that with building up your immune system. So I send most people over to Donnie Yance, who's a genius, who has written books on this and stops the pathway of the cancer. So this is the knowledge. This is the knowledge that you need. And, so I had it, and I didn't have that knowledge. So that kind of annoys me a little bit, because I was like a lamb, thank God, not being led to slaughter, but I didn't know. Now I see people that put so much faith in the medical establishment, and I see the trials that they're doing and what they're doing to friends of mine. It's horrible. And most trials are really just kind of a kiss goodbye. I mean, sometimes not, but it's scary. So I just feel that I was lucky in some ways. I hope I continue to be. I didn't know that I had triple negative, which is really serious. It's a good thing I didn't know, because I didn't worry. And again, I'm always working on myself, and I just hope that's something I don't have to experience again.
So how would you choose to approach this now versus 10 years ago?
Now? First of all, I think, and there's a oncologist in the city, any chemo without being tested as far as tumor tested is like Russian roulette. It's just like a shot in the dark. So anyone who has cancer should have their live tumor tested with the Wiesenthal labs or whatever other cancer testing. They're starting to pick up and do this at Cancer Treatment Centers of America. And then you would do a targeted low dose if in fact it's necessary, along with immune support and along with dealing with your soul and what was going on emotionally. Because usually if you say to people, like with me, I was in a really bad place. If you say to people, what was going on in your life? What was being repressed? You know, I mean, anyone who has cancer doesn't want to hear, oh, you're angry, that's why you had it. But the truth is, our emotions are our body, so it's all connected. And then you say, well, I know a lot of angry people and they don't have anything. Well, that's just their journey, and we don't know. And a lot of people feel that their diagnosis of cancer has opened them up to the joy of life. So let's not make cancer, we make it this like villain. It's like, you know, Saddam Hussein, we come at it with like missiles and rockets and blow up the whole body. It's supposed to be approached with, well, it's in your body, and you're going to love yourself, and you're going to love yourself so much that you're going to find out how to treat yourself and heal yourself gently. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to just walk at, you know, and like just into like a lamb into slaughter. Just follow what these people say to do. Because it's a business. It is a big business. And the trials and the new medications and but even apart from that, there's amazing, gentle ways to heal. Whether it's targeted radiation with hypothermia. Now the guy that came to us found that because we stopped him. I'm like, whoa, put the brakes on, don't go into fear, take a minute, take a breath, and see what you can do. Unlike, you know, what most people do, it's like you've got cancer, immediately that's it. You know, alarm bells go off, there's fear, and then you just jump down that medical highway.
Exactly. Chemo is actually medicine that kills cells.
Every
right?
cell in your body.
Yeah.
That's why you lose your hair a lot of times.
Right.
So, and again, you know, I think everything on this earth is here for a reason, but with respect and done properly. The plant world, Artemisia, which Donnie uses, a lot of the chemos are taken from the plant world. So why not use the plant medicine without making it into a pharmaceutical?
Well, then nobody would make any money.
Exactly.
Hey, you've got to watch Marcus at the door.
Now, by the way, Donnie Yance is doing amazing. He is going to hospitals all over the world, teaching oncologists how to heal with his plant medicine.
Oh, wonderful.
So I send everyone there. Unfortunately, it does cost some money. I discount the products, but it's another huge, brilliant resource.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. So there are options for us.
Big time.
Yeah.
So many options.
Well, you're a walking testimony for that. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, yes.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I have the options, and well,
Yeah.
I'm a work in progress.
Yeah.
So I will be. On the way, I'll be like, and here's another thing you need to do.
I'm sitting here trying to think of who was it that said to me, try the approach of when they tell you have cancer, say you have a tumor somewhere or cancer, to
Love it.
love the cancer, right? And to speak to it and to ask it, what is it trying to tell you? Because all illness only comes to us to tell us something, all right, or to work out a karma. And say, what is it you're trying to tell me? And to be gentle like that with it. And someone told me about that, and that is another good thing.
That's
if
a
they can do
really
it.
good thing.
Yeah.
I was listening to Carolyn Mace the other day. She told a charming story about a little boy who had a brain tumor, and he asked his mother, am I going to die? And she said, maybe. And he said, but I want to live. And she said, tell God. And every day he went in, because he was a kid, and he said it looked like it was a brain tumor, it looked like a meatball to him. And he came in with his rockets, and he was blowing it up. And one day he said to his mom, he said, the rockets stopped, they're not firing. And he said to his mom, I'm fine, I'm cured. She said, how do you know? He said, because God came in and sent an explosive. Anyway, he was healed. He was doing visualization every day.
Wow.
So whether it's visualization, connecting with your body, I would say, yes, loving that part of you right now and not attacking it, because then you're attacking yourself, but also having the intention that you want to be whole and healed. So, I mean, you don't want to put too much pressure on people that, you can heal yourself. It's through God and through grace and through the right information, you have a really good shot. But none of us knows really what your path is.
Right.
So don't beat yourself up if you're not getting better right away, because that's going to cause a tremendous amount of stress also.
Right.
It's a process.
It's a process.
I think
Life's a process.
Yeah, and to go to a place like your healing center and to try first the advice you give them, and then try all the different modalities that are there and see what works for you, and try the diets, and it's a process. I think that's the important point to make to the people today. It's a process.
It is, and you need options. And again,
Yes.
run for the hills. I worked with some people in the past when I was training, and they would tell people, my way is the only way, and then people would lose their money because it was expensive, and they would be like, but I'm not healed. Well, go out and empower yourself.
Anyone that says my way is the only way, whether it's that or if it's spirituality, or if they're teaching you
Right.
something about spirituality,
Run.
and they say this is the only way, there's no other path but this path back home to God, run.
Right.
Yeah,
Run.
and there's so much stuff out there, and people are desperate, and it can get extremely confusing. I was there, so it's kind of good to kind of get some clarity.
That's what they really need to do.
Can I share a little story about the sending self-love?
Of
Yes.
course.
Yes. This goes back, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so. I used to live in the city, and I would take the train from Brooklyn to New York. And I noticed I had developed a large nodule, like an arthritic nodule on my knuckle. And I am far too young to be having knobby fingers. And what I would do on the train is I would just hold the finger, and I would meditate or sit quietly and just think loving thoughts.
Like loving thoughts to the finger, or
Yes.
just loving thoughts in
Nope.
general? Just loving thoughts
To the finger.
to the
To the
finger.
finger.
Gone.
Like what? Like I love you.
Yeah.
What was your loving thoughts example?
I love you. I love you. I love you. You're fine. You're perfect. I love you.
Just keep saying that over and over.
Gone.
That's pretty powerful. And there are stories like this all over the place.
And I didn't know, 10 years ago, I didn't know anything.
Anybody
Like,
with cancer
I feel
should
like what
read
I know now.
Anita Morjani's book. It's very inspiring. It's called Dying to Be Me. Because she came back after she went to the light in the hospital, documented, and healed within 2 weeks. And she said it's all about the judgment. We're so hard on ourselves. We really are.
It just brought back another thought. You had mentioned Roland. He had been on our show too, who speaks with the departed ones, and he said that was their message to us, is that it's just all about love.
That's it.
That's what they want to tell us that are
They
still
say
here.
There's
That's
two emotions. There's fear and there's love. So it's easy, and that's a lower vibration. Fear is a really lower. It's easy to get pulled into it. There's so much going on, the media, everything. And it's just about just switching over to love. And then all of a sudden your vibration is higher and you have a much greater capacity to heal. We know that, don't we?
We do know
We
that.
do. We forget it sometimes, but he doesn't.
Hans taught me, he said everything that we do is either a giving of love or a cry for love.
Aw.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. And we're all so guarded, and that ego gets in the way, and it's really good to let it down because it's exhausting.
It is.
It is. Like, this is who I am, for better or for worse, and we all have, we're human. We have what we label as flaws.
Well, very judgmental in the world today. And everyone judges everyone by their looks and
I
their
know.
body and how they're, and their youth, how they're, all that. That's the most important thing today in people's minds.
That's why I was kind of
But
happy.
it's not
when-
the most important
No.
thing at all.
No, but I was kind of happy when Angelina Jolie, she's so gorgeous, she came out with that, because now, I mean, not that I'm dating, but I could say, I had an Angelina Jolie. No, but I actually don't endorse it. But yeah, no, it's that whole image, it's looks, it's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is, and that influences the young people a lot.
There's so much pressure on them
There
to
really
be,
is.
and so we're learning, we're all learning, and hopefully we can, continue to evolve.
The whole focus is on the physical looks, feeling, not on the soul and the heart and the being and the,
Hence so many divorces and
Oh, yeah.
and people that are unhappy with themselves. And we can't escape aging. So you could do it gracefully and be
Right,
healthy,
exactly.
or you can try to run from it, and then that's kind of sad. Because then you're losing
By
the
getting
most.
facelifts.
Yep, facelifts, or it just or not feeling good about yourself and not embracing it. Actually, there's a wisdom to that. In other cultures, the older people are respected. They're revered. They're wise.
They are,
We
that's
walk,
true.
People that are over 80,
Yeah.
we kind of walk by. We don't even want to look at them.
Right.
That's kind of pathetic.
It's true. It really is.
Because we're them and they're us.
You had mentioned earlier that you feel that all disease starts in the etheric field?
Well, it's
etheric
like,
field?
yeah, I don't know if I would say, I don't know if I would really say that, but I feel there's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a connection between our mind, body, and soul.
Right.
And who's to say what starts where first? But there's definitely a connection. There has to be, because it's all connected. Our mind, the thoughts that we think are picked up. What we say, our body hears literally. That's why a doctor can go in and say, I'm sorry, but your diagnosis is fatal, and that person has a 40% chance higher of dying. They've lost hope. So, yeah, it's all interrelated, 100%. That's why prayer heals. That's proven. They've done studies on it. Prayer groups help to boost people's, vibration, or help to heal them. So all of this is becoming documented. And so yes, what you think is your mind affects your body, your soul, your spirit. It's all interrelated. I know a lot of people that feel that it ends up in the body. Like the body's kind of like the last stop. Like it's kind of out there, and then when it gets denser, it manifests in your body. Or is it a message, like we said, from spirit? Did I have to have back surgery in February? Why? Roland came in and said to me, you needed an energetic clearing in your root chakra. They were in there. This had to happen. You had to stop. Is that the reason? And we look at bad things here in a certain way, but we're here on this earth, and there's good things and bad things, but to them it's all a learning, it's all a teaching. So it's
Right.
not labeled as bad or good. It's all a loving teaching, because this is just like, as Hans said, we're here for 900,000 hours, right? That's
Yeah.
it. It's a school.
This is Earth
It's
School.
a school, right? It is Earth School, and we're in these Earth suits, and we're very lucky to be here. So we have to respect the vehicle. So some people that might sit and meditate and not take care of the body, well, eventually something happens, but maybe their higher vibration can keep the body at a higher level. That's possible too. And there's no hard and fast rules. No, again, I can't. There's no rules that apply to everybody. Some
No.
people are amazing. You could see people that, my father's 98. He's eaten everything horrible. He's not conscious, and he sits there and he's happy. Go figure. I don't understand what his karma is. And he wasn't a good father, so what's that about? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
She's not judging. She's
But
not
I had a healing with him, and I was able to love him, so maybe that's why. We don't really know the bigger...
Sometimes they're here for other people. Yeah.
Right, we don't know the real reason things happen. Why does a child die? Why do things happen? We don't know. And it's excruciating and painful, but if there is a bigger picture, and we all believe there is, souls have signed up for different lessons.
Right. Everyone knows how long they're going to be here. Everyone picks their parents. They know when their life is going to end.
Yeah.
They know what they have to work out.
That
But
picking the
then-
parent thing is really
yeah.
challenging. Yeah.
What is it?
I mean, I often say as a joke that I
Picking the
must
parents?
have
I
been
know.
drunk or something. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
know. My girlfriend's daughter said to her, "Ma, if that's true, why didn't I pick somebody who's really rich? So I got a swimming pool and cars, But
She did in another lifetime.
yeah, that's right. And she had to learn this way. And all that is worked out with us, with our guides and teachers. But then when we get here, we have to forget, because if we remembered, that'd be cheating. We just do it because we knew we had to do it. We have to-
Exactly.
we're
But
here
they're
to-
there, and they tell us to ask. We don't ask.
Right. No.
To
That's
pray
true.
and to ask and say, I need clarity, I need truth, not I need a new Porsche. I need truth, I need clarity, like get to the soulful praying, not that I want this and that and that. And I believe that they are there. I believe, I mean, I've experienced it, you have, we all have,
We all
sitting
have, yeah.
here, so we're very blessed. And even after experiencing it, I still need sometimes more, evidence. It's like dying, I need it again. And I see it all the time. So,
Well, I was taught to believe, and I really do believe it, that we're all here to remember who we are and who we really are. Every single person on this planet, every single person is perfect. We're here to remember that we're perfect spiritual beings in these bodies, as you say, working out our lessons, what we have to learn. When we remember that we're perfect, then we try to act that way. And that would be loving and doing unto others as you want them to do to you. Loving and helping and caring, and that would be a beautiful
it would
plan,
be great.
right? Yeah,
I mean, it's easy to be grateful when everything's going well.
exactly.
It's the question is when you're in the dark night or when things are really hard, and Carolyn Mace talks about this, how do you say, thank you, and I want the lesson, show me the truth, what is the bigger reason behind this? That's really when your soul steps up to the plate. That's when there's endurance. That's when you're kind of really, putting the pedal to the metal. So it's easy when things are going smoothly.
I know. My friend says, when the situation like that, she says to me, well, you say, as long as I got to be here anyway, I might as well get it right.
Exactly. Or
Just
I'm
enjoy
here on
it.
purpose,
Yeah,
right?
enjoy what I can and get it right. Get the lesson learned and get it over with. Don't have to do it again.
And try to find the joy and the gratitude. They say fake it till you make it. Wake up and everybody can find at least 3 things they're grateful for. So for healing, even if you wake up and you fake it, if you're feeling crummy, what are the things you're grateful for? You will immediately feel better. It happens. It just changes your whole vibration. So that's just one little thing, and a big warm glass of lemon water, and your day is going to be a lot better than waking up grumpy and shoving a cup of coffee down your throat.
Do you know I have started the warm lemon water in the morning
I love it.
to get off of the coffee? Because for years I never liked coffee. Somehow I started drinking coffee. I don't like the taste, but it's the kick.
Well, there's a new report now that organic coffee is good. It has to be organic, but yeah, it's nice to get a little kick.
Yeah, so I thought about it. I think it's really the warmth. I think it's really the warmth and the comfort that I'm really liking. So somewhere the warm lemon juice
So good.
came to me, and I'm fine without the coffee.
You warm the water up and
See, you did it.
With
You already
lemon in it?
changed one little thing.
Yeah,
That's
and
like a
yes,
big thing.
and I've been consistent with it.
And you could add a little
Yeah.
cayenne, which if you want a little wake
Oh,
up, a little liquid
okay.
cayenne, we tell people that'll give you a little wake up because it dilates your blood vessels and you're like,
Yeah. So for me, I felt it was an act of just being more conscious and not being the automatic
Yeah.
coffee. This is not right for my body. There has to be something else.
right, because for right now, for your body, it might be acidic or inflamed. The coffee might not be good. Or maybe your body wants to wake up gently in the morning with water and lemon, and maybe you want an organic cup of coffee at 11. There's ways to do it,
Right,
without
right.
feeling you're deprived. But if you feel, I don't drink coffee anymore, it upset my stomach. So I'll do teas or a green tea or herba mate.
Right.
But good for you.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and I did feel that I made a conscious choice.
And it helps to detox your liver. You're actually, you're breaking the fast. That's breakfast. Breakfast is supposed to be breaking the fast of the evening with something that's supporting your body.
Right.
So you feel a little better, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
have breakfast in the morning?
Fruit.
Fruit.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that later. I'll be quiet.
Off camera, right?
I can't do sweets in the morning.
Yeah.
We could talk about it now. We have time. We could talk about it now. Why not?
Well, I mean, to me, a really good way to start the day is a smoothie. So putting just fruit in your body is a lot of condensed sugar. So it has to be organic. But it's better to do a smoothie where you might take avocado and lemon and then some wild blueberries or blackberries with the chia seed and tastes just as good. But then it's a medicinal smoothie as opposed to just straight fruit. And it really needs to be organic or else it's pesticide proof.
Right.
So then you might as well
know.
just,
When I go out and look at strawberries lovingly and say,
well, organic strawberries are okay.
yeah, right. But when you're out, they don't have organic strawberries. My friend, she puts it in my face. You want this?
Yeah.
No, that's total pesticides. Forget it.
Yeah, I mean,
Berries
like,
especially.
I tell people, like, if you don't have organic salad, then you're having, like, a pesticide salad. Like, go have a hamburger. I mean, not literally, but still.
That's the
Think
quality
about
of the
what you're
food,
putting
yeah.
in your body, in this vessel. So that's another thing. We do amazing smoothies. They taste good. They're easy. Literally, you can do it. Even I can do it. 2 minutes in the blender, flip it, that's it. And you feel great. Some coconut oil in it because that helps to control the blood sugar. You could put cinnamon, that helps the blood sugar, so then you're not going to be hungry till lunch.
Right, right. And the chia seed, that's the protein, is that? The chia seeds are
Chia seed
protein?
is an amazing, it's a protein. The Indians used to go on treks and just take the chia seed.
Oh, wow.
I like to put it in water because it hydrates.
That's what I do.
If you just have it without the water, it could pull the water from your body. But it's protein, it's fiber, it's got so many amazing things in it. So I put the blender with a little water and I put the chia seeds in for 10 minutes and then I add everything else. And you can make a chia seed pudding with almond milk and a little cinnamon. It's just the stuff, it's like the chia pet, it just expands. But it's so good for you. It's a superfood. It's a special healing superfood. Tons of fiber.
I know someone who had diabetes
Yeah.
and started to take the chia seeds. Now he's a black man, and he had that Michael Jackson, the white, that's a name for it, I forget, but the white spot right here on his face.
Right, the
And
pigmentation.
and there's a name for it, but I can't think of it.
Hidago. What is the name?
I forget, but he said, he just lived with it, But he was eating the chia seeds every day for the sugar, and it was really helping. And then he started looking in the mirror, and he's going, and he was on our show to talk about it.
Really? It went away?
Yeah, little by little by little, he
From the
saw.
chia seeds?
Yeah, and and one day it was all
Wow.
gone. So he came on the
That's
show again a second
amazing.
time, and he brought pictures of it with it, and then we saw how he looked now.
Wow.
So I don't know.
I mean,
He's living proof. It happened, and that was, the only
was that his
only
intention?
difference he
That,
made.
like,
No,
Was he correlating the chia seeds to the spot on his forehead?
no, he was only taking the chia seeds
Wow.
for blood sugar.
That's amazing. That is incredible.
Yeah,
well,
it is.
see, we don't know. There's so many things that we don't know. It's the healing power of what God has put on this earth. It's
Oh, He
so
put everything.
incredible.
For every
that
illness-
avocado is like a walking
Yeah.
medicine cabinet. I love those avocados.
Everything.
They're so
He
good.
put there's a cure for everything
There
in the
is.
plant world, for every disease that we have here.
we
we
can
have-
see if we've created.
Right. We have about 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
So what would you like to tell our audience in these last 5 minutes? Either one of you,
Come see
both of
David.
you.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Call me if you need anything. You
If you've got 5 minutes, you don't have to say it that fast.
Okay, you can heal yourself. You can comfort yourself. There are tools out there. So just be open to receiving them. They're all over. It's not just us. There are people out there that can help you. Go to my healing rooms and check some things out. It's free, and it's an educational website, so you're going to learn about these modalities. And that's why it's there. There'll be new videos like every month or two. I mean, even the woman with John of God, people make...
Who is John of God?
John of God is in Brazil. He's this...
I've heard the name.
Entities come in. He's up at Omega. People make
Oh.
a pilgrimage down there, and there's been huge healings. And this woman actually will take your picture down there. So this is just one little thing, but it's something. It's faith. So there are, on the website, My Healing Rooms, there's a resource page that we are starting to list all the things that you can do. So you don't have to call me. You can click on the resource page in Donnie Yance and Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Well, I'm trying to put everything there. So it's like a resource website. Do you have any parting words for people?
I do, yes. I think what I'd like to emphasize is something we talked about earlier, that most, if not all, medicine has its foundation in emotion and trauma. So the Chinese have a pyramid that I tend to follow. At the base is emotion and trauma. Above that is stress, and above that is inflammation. And then is the actual ailment in the body, if we're talking about the physical body. And at the top is the symptom. The body lets you see a symptom, whether it's a pimple or whatever it is. Our allopathic friends, our Western doctor friends, tend to focus on that symptom and curing that, if you will, by helping us get through the day. I think some of our Eastern protocols and modalities get to the emotions and the trauma, as does the Shiren. It works at the cellular level. It gets to the light in the body. So the healing is from the bottom of the pyramid up. That's what I would like to focus on, and you touched
And
on
the
it.
other thing is, listen to your body, because people will often say the body kind of gives a little honk. They're like, you know, yeah, I wasn't feeling good 5 months ago, but I worked too hard, or I did this or that. If there's something going on, your body is saying, listen to me, do something. So if you start early, you're going to avoid something that could be potentially bigger. You know, so
Stress defines
listen.
the way we live in this culture, and that's right at the base of that pyramid. So it works its way up.
So
Interesting.
we can heal ourselves, we can heal with our body's own light, a la the Shiren, and many other ways. And thank you, so nice of you guys to have us.
Oh,
Ladies,
it's been
thank you.
fascinating.
So much.
Really
Wonderful.
fascinating.
And you know, knowing you and telling our audience that working with Barbara here, we're working with her to have some wonderful guests on our show that she's going to bring for us. And we already had a few of them, and it's wonderful. And I'm so glad for this. Fate put us together.
I know.
Because
I
our
love
mission is-
sharing, and thank you for helping
Yeah.
us to share.
Oh,
That's
thank
so
you for
great.
helping
Thank
me.
you guys
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Our mission is to teach people, help people, and that's how I feel, which is my mission in life.
And don't
right now.
forget the animals. The animals
Oh.
are healers, so
Oh, yeah,
just
definitely.
stay tuned, because Rosemary and Lisa are going to have an amazing equine horse energy
Yes.
therapy healer. So important that they are here to help us heal.
All right, well, we're going to give
you, ladies.
your information, and we thank you again so much. And we're looking
Thank
forward to a show with you. Okay, and Barbara will be
Can I
back.
sit there like
Yes.
Ed McMahon? And
Barbara
just
can come anytime she wants and stay here.
I'm the trophy guest.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're going to give the contact information now.
To contact Barbara Silver Slane, her number is 203-912-2791. Lifebalance@gmail.com is one email. myhealingrooms@gmail.com is the second one for the healing rooms. And websites are lifebalance.com and myhealingrooms.com. So lots of ways to reach Barbara.
Or just scream.
And our contact information is coming. To learn more information about this show or any of our past shows, contact us please at healoutsidethebox@yahoo.com, or to reach me, Rosemary LaChance, 203-627-7966. And my website is www.rosemarylachance.com. And for Lisa, her phone number is 203-804-0024. And her website is www.theonejoy.com. And we're also on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box. And tonight's quote is, "It is quite natural in pursuing enlightenment or just trying to be happier to look to your everyday experiences for signs of results. Indeed, your daily life is nothing but an expression of your spiritual condition. Your life will change as you become more loving, but not in ways you can exactly predict. What happens is not important as to how you react to what happens." And that's by Thaddeus Golis. All right, folks. Thank you so much.
for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yes,
I
thank
will check
you.
again if I could reach you. Thank you for being here. Thank you out there for joining us.
Thank you.
Good night.
Wash the journey from your hands. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.